Hello everybody and welcome to the Jumputi Heroes 100 series celebration. We called it quite a while ago that it was 100 series, and I mean, you know, all the other stuff we came up with since then of what it could possibly be, it was nonsense. It was nonsense, but we're here, 100 series, and this event for me is a banger. I know that some people have their mixed feelings about it, and, you know, fair enough. Fair enough, you're entitled to your opinion. But this one is big, and we're going to talk about all the stuff going on here. This could be a little bit long. This could be a little bit long, but, you know, it is what it is. This news post took so long to make. So if I do end up skimming over anything, you can always go back and look at it. I'll link it in the description, and you can read it for yourself in case there is anything missed. Anything missed. So, to start off with, we have the Retweet Campaign, which at this point we have smashed out of the park, so I don't even really need to cover this too much. We are going to be getting 100 tickets from this, which is very nice. That means a total of 300 summons from this event for free. Not including some of the other extra goodies they gave us. So, at least 300 free summons. Very good. Very good. We are also getting some little bonuses here. Some little bonuses. This is a limited multi-ticket, which is not a multi full of limiteds, but it is a multi that is all 5-star, and you get one limited guaranteed. Which limited you get? There's a big mix. There's no guarantee you get somebody good. So, you know, I mean, I did mine. I probably could have saved it for like stream or something, but I was too excited and I did it. And it was Mizoku Yusuke, which is not only old as hell, it is also a dupe. So not much good to me, because I'm pretty sure I already maxed him out, or at least mostly maxed him out. But you know what? You can get some goodies. You can get some 5-stars as well. I got some pretty decent dupes in my 5-stars. So, all in all, a very good gift. The other gift we got is the 100 Fest Choice ticket. Now, this in particular is pretty damn huge. For a start, whichever character you choose will come at 6-star. They will come battle ready rather than at 5-star, which is what you normally get from a choice ticket. Which for, you know, the veteran players won't matter too much, but if you're a beginner, pretty huge. And this is nice because they have tried, in the spirit of the celebration, to include a character from every series. They can't do that because there are some characters, or some series rather, that only have free-to-play characters, or limited. Well, I don't think there's any series that have only got limited characters, but you get what I'm saying. There's certain series that don't have a standard gacha unit, so they're not included. But pretty much every other series, every series that does have one, it does have a unit in there. And the bonus to that is that We Never Learn and Buso Renkin only have 2021 gacha units. So if you get a little scroll all the way to the bottom going, because a lot of people might look at it and just see a normal choice ticket. But if you give a little scroll, you see two 2021 units in there. I have already used mine. I have chose Tokiko because I didn't have her. So that's cool. And they also have Sensei from We Never Learn. So if you don't have her, very good unit. 2021 unit as well. Very, very nice. Very nice gift. Very nice gift. Now this is garbage. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I think some people have had their fun with it, and some people haven't had any problems, any qualms with setting it all up. But basically, there is a campaign currently going on between Mirative and Jumputi, and you are able to play Jumputi and stream it on Mirative. And if you do so for 15 minutes a day, at least 15 minutes a day, for 7 days total, it has to be on 7 separate days, you will get a total of 1,000 rubies, which is cool. There's also a viewing campaign, but do note it is not just viewing. You have to view, and you also have to comment. If you don't comment, it won't count. So you have to view and comment Jumputi Hero streams in order to get even more rubies. 700 rubies. Pretty cool. I have not enjoyed this. I have not enjoyed this. Number one, the app is not great. Like, it's not that hard to use if you just want to stream. But as I was trying to, like, get some screenshots or whatever, try and do a more in-depth guide on how to set it up and whatever, every time you fuck up, you can't go back. You basically have to close the app and start again, or just live with your mistakes, which is not great. And I don't know, there's a few things about this app that just suck, and it's very clear that it is built for... In Asia, there is a big part of the population, they don't have PCs, and they wouldn't be able to stream from their PC. They would instead be using their phone, because everybody has a phone. And I guess that's who they're appealing to. And with a campaign like this trying to boost the popularity of Jumputi, I think Mirrotiv is quite popular, an app, so I get it. I do get it. This is just so not for me. It is so not for me. But if it is for you, 1700 rubies there. Just got to download Mirrotiv, link your ID, and go nuts. Go nuts. I have technically done one stream. So, and for 15 minutes. So I will get my 500 rubies, and that's it. I'm not doing any more of this. But if you're desperate for the rubies, I guess go for it. I guess you can go for it. The daily missions, pretty standard for big events like this. Just clear 7 adventures and you get 50 rubies and 50 stamina. The 200 free summons I mentioned before, you're allowed to choose which gacha you want to summon on. I am now down to 2 missing 2020 units, so I am going to be summoning on specific banners based on who they are. I believe it's V2 Ray from Fist of the North Star and V3 Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. So I have narrowed this down to the green banner and the blue banner, but obviously for most people, there's just a lot of units you're not going to have. You could just summon on whichever banner you want, whichever banner entices you. If you summon on side red, it's only red units, all the way from 3-star to 5-star, and then green, blue, and yellow, same thing, different colors. And I suppose if you've got everybody, you've got to think carefully about what dupes you want, and then go for those. But very nice. 300 free summons. That is a lot. That is a lot. And to get all these tickets, you have to do missions, which, I mean, you can go and look at these on the website. But basically, the missions are max everything. Max every new thing in the event, and that's about it. That's about it. I think the only thing is, like, the recapture points event, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And Unity Battle, which we'll talk about later. So just make sure you max everything out as you normally would. So this is the points event. Recapture Hero Island. Join your division. This is in 2 parts in the news post. The part where you choose your team and what you kind of get from choosing your team, and the actual gaining the points. So unlike other events where there's teams, we're not competing against each other. We are working together, but separately. Which it doesn't make that much sense, I guess, but you know, it's so you can pick a team. You pick your favorite team. Team Goku, Luffy, Naruto, or Ichigo. Shout out to anybody on Team Ichigo. That is my guy. I think Team Luffy would have a lot more people joining it if not for the fact that the costume that comes from Team Luffy, people will already have. People will already have that costume if they played during the event back in like January, the like Marineford event. If you play during that, you've already got that costume. I don't know why they didn't release a new one, but there you go. There you go. So I think there's going to be a lot more people on the other 3 teams, and I mean, I don't know, like, as far as which units are good, I mean, I guess Naruto and Ichigo are a bit better than Goku and Luffy, but they're all from like the first year, so there's not that much in it, I don't think. I think Naruto probably has the most use in this day and age, if you are wondering. And you do get the unit for free. When you choose the team, you get given the ticket, and you choose the team by using this little thing which you'll get in the mail when you start the event. And this ticket will give you a multi with a guaranteed version of that character plus some other stuff. I actually managed to get 3 5-stars in my Ichigo ticket, so I was very happy with that. And if you're wondering why it's like yellow, red, green, and blue when the characters are actually yellow, and red, that's because it is reflecting the colors of the teams, which will culminate in the limited choice ticket at the end, which does indeed have a yellow, red, green, and blue limited on it. So we'll talk about that when we get there. So we have to collect 1 billion points, 250 million per team. How hard is that going to be? I don't actually know, but I think typically speaking during these events, they do tend to either fudge the numbers or just kind of make up as they go along, or they just make it a goal that they know we're going to reach. Because, I mean, people are going to be farming this event anyway, because there's going to be loads of goodies, so... you know, they probably know that we're going to hit that number, or roughly know that we're going to hit that number. And this is the actual event you need to farm. There are boosted characters on this, and you can see down here, the boosts are interesting, because actually a lot of the higher boosts, like Deku and Hinukaman Super Phoenix, are brand new event units. They're going to be live during this event. You're going to be able to farm them and get a 130% boost for free. And the 2 standard gacha units that are featured on the boost gacha with the boost unit, they're only 110%, which is only 10% more than the other free-to-play units from this event. So I guess they're going easy on us a little bit. I mean, the optimal team is going to be Cobra plus 2 event units, plus either Tyson Maeda or Dark Schneider. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice, I guess. They're giving us the boost. Normally it is a little bit less free-to-play friendly, I guess. But I do think these guys come out later. They come out after this event has already started. So that might be why their boost is a little bit higher. And yeah, pretty much the same as any points event. You farm points. And, well, actually, instead of spending them in the store this time, they clear missions. But we sometimes have points events like that anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Just instead of spending the points, just keep farming until you clear all the missions, and then you're pretty much done. And yeah, obviously it shows the choosing the team thing and the boost characters there. Now, down here you can see the 4 costumes. They're a little bit small, but I mean, you get the idea. It's just a some glowy lines around the character, really. Ichigo looking kind of cool though. Ichigo looking kind of hot. I'm kind of digging it. Just go for the one you want, other than Luffy, unless you didn't get Luffy during that event, in which case you can go for Luffy. But I think a lot of players, because it was only like what, 6 months ago. I think most people watching this video would have played during that event, so probably don't choose Luffy. And yeah, the limited choice ticket, interesting lineup, because we have like some of the first version limiteds, the Bound Man Luffy, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the original Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Sage Mode Naruto. But we also have Vasto Lord Ichigo, which is not his base limited. His base limit is Vizard Ichigo. But they've done this so that there can be one of each type. Red, yellow, green, and blue. So I am definitely choosing Vasto Lord Ichigo, not only because I think he is really good for how old he is, but also because I don't have him, and I want him. I think in terms of Bleach, after I choose him, the only one I'll be missing is Vizard Ichigo. Though I will say, I have some limited tickets in my inbox still. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to wait until I live stream. I will be live streaming during when Hinukaman Super Phoenix goes live, and when Hinukaman go live. And I will use those tickets and then see who I get. And then if I happen to get Vasto Lord Ichigo, maybe I pick someone else. So, maybe. But if you're wondering who you should pick, there is arguments. I would say that Sagemo Naruto is pretty good. I still think Vasto Lord Ichigo is the best one there. But I mean, this is just, it's a limited choice ticket. You can just choose your favorite. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want my personal pick, what I personally think you should choose, Vasto Lord Ichigo. And that's that. And yeah, so you get the limited choice ticket from collecting these 2 medals. One of these will not be available until Frieza Unity Battle drops. So a lot of people are going to be asking me, I've already had people asking me, how'd you get the limited ticket? You have to wait until Unity Battle drops. Until that drops, the ticket is not available. And yeah, that mission is actually the same as some of the other missions we had above. It's just clear it 5 times, which I'm sure you can all do. And you have to get 6,000 recapture points as well, which again, I'm sure you can all do. And you get to choose a limited. Pretty nice. Pretty damn nice. Next up is the daily mission. Just clear it every day. There's nothing else to it. Just clear it every day. Then we have one of the worst named events ever. That is the new farmable Tanjiro Kamado. The man who cut through a boulder that was bigger and harder than anyone had ever cut before. If you think I'm out of my mind with that event title, that is the exact, well, not the exact, but that is essentially what Sabito says about Tanjiro in the official Viz translations. I've slightly changed it because it changes the subject of the conversation from Tanjiro to the man. So it is the man who cut through whatever. It's poor. It's poor from them. They could have chosen any quote. That's poor from them. But a free-to-play Tanjiro, and I think we've talked about this at some point in videos or on streams, or at least in Discord. I think they are making an effort to give us free-to-play versions of a lot of the protagonists that don't... I mean, if you think about it, we've got a free-to-play Luffy now. I think we've actually got 2 of those. Free-to-play Goku. We've had that for a long time. We've definitely got free-to-play Ichigo. We've definitely got a couple of free-to-play Narutos. And I mean, the more you go on, like, the more you think about it, there's characters like Gintoki we've got free-to-play, characters like Dai, characters like Alan Walker. Like, not all of these are, like, the biggest protagonists, but they are representative of the series, so it is nice to have, like, a version of that character with an updated sprite, and they are free, and they can be obtained from just playing the game rather than spending rubies. I think that's really nice. And this is one of the things a lot of people didn't like about this event. The choice of Tanjiro, because obviously Kimetsu no Yaiba. This is the one thing I got right from my predictions. And can I just say, from now on, every time I'm making a predictions video, I'm just going to put Kimetsu no Yaiba in there. I just am, because it's just always there. I get it. It's so popular. I get it. But it's always there. It's always there. And I love Kimetsu no Yaiba. And as you know, I wanted this version of Tanjiro in the game. Implemented slightly differently to how I would have done it. But you know what? As a Transcendent class event, it gives people an opportunity to play with Tanjiro with an updated sprite. And I like that. And I can definitely understand why some people don't like that. But it is, you know, it can't be helped. It can't be helped because it's Kimetsu no Yaiba. It's more popular than the Beatles. What do you want from me? His sprite looks great. 10 out of 10 sprite. And this time I will do a batch review at some point. I forgot to do it during the Kenshin event, but things got very busy. So I do apologize for that. But don't worry, we will do a batch review because this patch is very... very interesting. Well, at least one character in particular interests me. But I think you'll know who that is when we get further down. And the next free-to-play unit is Netero. Now, I think this is brilliant. I think this is so good. Number one, you know, we got Netero a long time ago, limited character. So giving people a free-to-play version of him is huge. It's fucking huge. People are going to be so happy to get this. People love Hunter x Hunter. And it's understandable because it's very good. And getting Netero free-to-play catastrophe stage, really cool. They've also made his catastrophe stage one of the hardest ever. And I think that's really cool. And I know what you're thinking, because you've probably watched me do some of these catastrophe stages. You probably know I'm not that good at them. But I've always said this, Jumputi needs more challenge content. You've got to have stages that people will try and they will fail at because they are not ready to face them. And then down the line, as their box improves, as they get more characters, as time goes on, they will re-challenge these stages and they will be able to win. And it gives you that sense of progress and it makes you feel good about yourself. And I know it's a silly thing, but that's what these gacha games kind of are. They're just these little dopamine hits. Oh, I got a rainbow. That feels good. Oh, I didn't get a rainbow. That doesn't feel good. That's all it is. And Netero, very, very, very good choice for this. Because it is perfectly suited to the actual moment from the series. Netero against Gon and Killua. And he just cannot be beat by them. They just cannot. I think it was they had to get the ball off of him. They just couldn't get the ball off of him. That's how far ahead he is. That's how insurmountable a goal it is trying to defeat him. They couldn't even steal a ball off of him. And so he's a good pick. He's a good pick. The stage is just super, super hard. But you're going to come back later and you're going to be able to beat it. If you can't beat it now, you're going to come back later and you'll be able to beat it. And that is awesome. And a very nice aura as well. Very nice aura costume. Now, a new addition to the game. We have Kenichi Kokuyo from Moeru Onii-san. This is huge. New series being added to the game. We've reached 100, but they're not stopping there. They are not stopping there, and I really, really am happy about that. I just want them to keep adding new series. There is so much content in Shonen Jump that is still untouched. We need to keep going into the vault and keep getting more stuff out. I know a lot of people were hoping for other new series here that maybe didn't appear, myself included, but you know what? There might be some reasons for that we may discuss further down the news post. For now, I think I've just got to say, if a new inclusion comes, whether I know the series, whether I don't, whether I'm familiar with it, whether I, was excited for it to be added or whether I was indifferent, when a new series gets added, it's cool because we get to, get a feel for some series that we maybe weren't so familiar with. And while I was trying to do the translations for Kenichi, I actually ended up watching a few episodes of the anime because I had no access to the manga. I couldn't find the manga translated anywhere, but I couldn't actually find it in Japanese either, because it's not on the Shonen Jump Plus app or on the website. So I was actually a little bit lost, and I ended up watching the anime. Someone had luckily translated it classic YouTube translation style, and it's quite enjoyable. It's a pretty standard gag manga. It's pretty much what you'd expect from the series. He's kind of like a super simplified, really stupid version of Goku. He's kind of got that feeling of like the country bumpkin. Like he's from out there and he doesn't really understand the city folk. But they seem to be drawn to him. They seem to like him. Like for some reason, he's got that sort of nature about him, and he's also absurdly strong compared to everyone else in World. And he has that sort of gag feeling. Early Dragon Ball, this is what I'm talking about. Early Dragon Ball, he has that gag sort of feeling that you might have seen in like a Dr. Slump, but less so in later Dragon Ball. That's what it kind of feels like. Even the event name is a gag. Acha, Ocha are just noises he makes while doing karate moves. And again, matcha is a type of tea, but it's also the name of their school of karate, and it's a running gag in the series. Listen, it's just cool to see a new series. It's cool to be introduced to new series. I really do like it, and maybe one day, some of the naysayers, some of the people that say, "Oh, what's this? What's that? Why would I want this? Why would anyone want this?" A series will get added, and you'll be like, "Oh, that looks interesting," and you might find a new little gem, a new little favorite that you didn't know about. So I'm glad. And the sprite exudes character. Excellent. And I've got the two sprites, the one on the overlay and the other one in game, and you kind of see the transformation between the two. Now, as for whether this series will get more content in the future, that's a little bit difficult to say. If I had to make a bet, I would say probably not. But they've been making some moves recently. They've been making some interesting moves recently, so it's a little bit difficult to rule it out completely. But I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't say it's got favourable odds. I wouldn't say it has a good chance, you know? But very nice. Very, very nice. Transcendent class event, easy peasy, slap him up. And then we have another Transcendent class event, another protagonist that's farmable, and this time it is Deku from My Hero Academia. Very nice sprite. I can understand why people are annoyed about this just as much as the Tanjiro one, especially because we know there is a new Deku coming at some point later this year. Now, admittedly, we don't know all the details of that. We've sort of seen like a rough outline of the sprite, and that, look, that could be a new limited, that could be a new standard gacha, that could be a new farmable, that could be a new dual unit, that could be a new crossover unit. We have no idea. We have absolutely no idea. But we know there's another Deku coming, so I can understand why people wouldn't necessarily want one right now. You know what? He's farmable. He's a Transcendent. He's not taking a gacha spot of somebody else. And as I mentioned before, they're giving us more and more of these farmable protagonists. And I'm still just all for it. You know what? We still got a bunch of cool stuff in this event while still giving some fan service to the big series. Look, this is the kind of ensemble event I want. Admittedly, there might be other characters I would want instead of Deku for this event, or instead of Tanjiro for this event, but it's fine. It really, you know what? I rate it. I do rate it. And I know there are a lot of people that are happy about Deku's inclusion from this specific fight, because it is a pretty hype moment. It is a pretty cool moment. And I will admit, it does feel a little bit weird that there's still a lot of stuff from My Hero Academia that hasn't been touched. Like, quite important characters, quite important fights, and it feels like there's a lot missing from the cast. But we still have a whole load of Dekus in spite of that. So I get what you mean if that's what you're trying to say. Like, if you're saying, like, instead of a version 2 Deku in this event, in a different event, they could have just given us a version 2 Bakugo, or they could have given us, like, more members from the class because loads of them are missing, or more of the professional heroes because loads of them are missing. And if that's your point, I somewhat agree. But still cool, free-to-play Deku, and another free-to-play protagonist on the list. And you know what? There's going to be another one in just a moment. But first of all, we have to talk about Hinukaman Super Phoenix. Those who watch and pay attention to the streams, and to the YouTube videos, and to the Discord, you know that I am a big fan of Hinukaman, and this is one of the super hype moments from Hinukaman. Hinukaman Super Phoenix is, of course, the final big bad of the classic run of the series before it essentially went on like a 20-year hiatus, although that's not technically accurate. It didn't go on a hiatus, it ended, only to be revived later. But this is the big showdown between Hinukaman Super Phoenix and Hinukaman in the scramble for the throne, and I am all about this. Can I tell you, I have been starving for Hinukaman content, which is not fair because there's so many series that have got hardly anything. Hinukaman had a huge feature festival and it added loads of key characters. There's only like a few I would say, like, super important characters that didn't get added. But for the most part, like, pretty much the whole main cast got added. And it was, like, really cool, but, like, I wanted more. I was greedy. I'm sorry, but he's here. He's here. And I'm very excited for this. I do wonder how hard this is going to be, considering how hard the Netero stage is. But I'm looking forward to giving it a go. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And the aura looking a little bit bizarre, looking a little bit strange. Looks, if you can't really tell on the website, but if you look at the shading there, looking pretty awesome, intimidating. Yes, my guy. And then another protagonist, another free-to-play protagonist. This one definitely hit people a little bit the wrong way. And again, like I said, in total, from the 4 Transcendent class events, I could definitely see how each and any one of those could piss somebody off. I can see how anybody could say, hey, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, I don't like what they did with this, I don't like how they've been handled in this event. And Kazuki Muto is the protagonist of Buso Renkin, but he is only available as free-to-play, whereas Deku has a Gacha Unlimited version, and Tanjiro Gacha Unlimited version. But Kenichi and Kazuki Muto from this event don't have Gacha versions, don't have any other versions, and will only exist, at least for now, as free-to-play Transcendent class units. And the reason why some people definitely might see that as an issue is Transcendent class units typically are not that good to use as a front line, at least anyway. And you could pretty much say that for all of these units. They would not be optimal to use in your front line, but you could use them if you wanted to on certain stages. And I do think something I don't always consider, but probably should consider, is events like this are big bait to get new players to join. And if a new player can go out and get a Tanjiro or a Deku or a Kazuki Muto just by beating a relatively easy stage, and then they could just use that character in their team, that's going to be huge for them. They're going to be so excited to do that. And fair enough, fair enough for them. And if you're a Buso Renkin fan and you're disappointed that Kazuki Muto is like a kind of low tier free-to-play unit, you are entitled to be annoyed. I understand your pain. Siren only has 1 unit right now, and they are free to play, so I get it. I do get it. But it's cool to see him added. Sprite looks pretty good. I haven't read much more than the first couple of chapters of the series, but I'm excited to see more, and we know more is coming, which is good. And then Unity Battle Mecha Frieza. This is weird because he appears to be a Unity Battle character in the traditional sense, but his kit does not look like that of a traditional Unity Battle character, especially not one from 2021. So what he is exactly, I don't know. Whether he's just some kind of free-to-play unit we can get to 99 luck or something like that. Maybe. If there's something else to his kit that we're not aware of, like maybe he has luck skills or something that we don't know about, maybe. If the skill data they gave us ends up being buffed later, maybe. I don't know, but interestingly, Mecha Frieza has a different character ID to Frieza. And that character ID has been there since the addition of characters like Super Saiyan 2 Son Gohan and Super Saiyan Trunks. It's been there since then. So it is very possible that Mecha Frieza was intended to be added all the way back. What was that, 2018? 2019? All the way back then. Mecha Frieza was planned and not added. Probably to be countered by Trunks, which would explain why they have kept him as red, because the Trunks we got was blue. But never got added. Never got added. Was a separate character entirely from Frieza, and never got added. But here he is, and I would agree with most people's argument that this is not a particularly compelling addition. Even from Dragon Ball, like, it's cool to get Dragon Ball content, I guess, if you're trying to hype up an event. to add a big series like Dragon Ball. But I think even like devout Dragon Ball fans are probably not that excited over this compared to anything else from the series. Considering we've already got a couple of versions of Frieza as well from much bigger moments of the series. If you were to release a new Trunks along with this, maybe that would have changed things. But it's Frieza. It's Frieza, guys. Should this have been some kind of protagonist or something like that? Maybe. But we got Frieza. So yeah, I mean the sprite looks pretty good. It looks like Mecha Frieza. So good work by them. I mean, a lot of the sprites look good in this event. So we've got to the point where sprites should always look good in the events, but I've been a little bit scarred since 11 million downloads and they released 2018 Okita Sogo as like as a new unit, which was not fun. It was not fun. And here's the tower boost, which I'm sure will definitely be fun for everybody and not a troublesome time at all. Now the first limited gacha is Gon and Killua, and I would say this was probably one of the most anticipated units as far as the dual units they showed during the stream, or not during the stream, during the promotional trailer back for the 2nd anniversary. This was one of the big pairings and people were very excited about this, and then dual unit after dual unit came out and they did not come, but they are here now. And I think we needed some more Hunter x Hunter content, which is a bit weird to say because in the past there's been times where they flooded us with it. But it's been a while since we've had like a big Hunter x Hunter unit. And now we've got Netero and Gon and Killua. And I think it's pretty cool. There's a little bit of weirdness, like the Netero stage is on like the tournament level, the one where you're supposed to fight Hisoka. Don't know why. And like obviously they've picked and chosen little bits of the character skills and abilities and quotes and stuff, and the same for Netero. So even though it's supposed to be from the moment where Gon and Killua team up on Netero, is not strictly that. It's more of a mishmash. I think that's fine. I think most people agree that's fine. Sprite looks good. I have to say it. Sprite looks good. And they're pretty nice units. I'm still a little bit torn on the whole double tap outside of turn 1 thing, but we'll talk about that more in the batch review. And here he is, limited Kinnikuman. Oh, look at that image. Look at it. It exudes energy. The power of that image. I am so excited to be summoning for him. It's you know, it's so weird because we got a limited gold man, but we still had that old like original Kinnikuman, and I was always looking forward to when we would get a limited one, updated sprite, decent abilities that I can use in events like that come out this year rather than much older events, which is pretty much what the old Kinnikuman was for. He was a specialist. He was a guard breaking specialist, which it has its place. But he was an old unit, and this guy's a beast. This guy is a beast, and I am very excited to be able to summon for him. And you know I'm gonna summon for him. You know I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do a live stream. There's gonna be summons for Kinnikuman. I'll probably do like 500 or something on Killua and Gon because I can't help myself. I'd even be tempted to summon a little bit for the standard gacha unit that we're going to talk about in just a bit. And we've even got some tickets as well. There's going to be a massive stream whenever this banner comes out. When does this banner come out? 0708. Save the date. Actually, am I working that day? Am I working that day? No, I am not. Save the date. Because I'll be streaming and doing a hell of a lot of summons, and very happy to have my boy, the miraculous comeback fighter, and he brings a new debuff with him, which we have called Bleed. Although Bleed is technically not completely true. I said originally went with Lacerate or Laceration or something along those lines, because that was kind of what it was. That was kind of most accurate to what it was, when you actually went and looked in a kanji dictionary, that's what it said. But it's a bit wordy, it's a bit of a mouthful, and when you got to type out 100 times in like over the course of however long, bleed is just easier. It's just easier, and it's easier for people to type out on Discord and for people to talk about, and it's just easier. So we've gone with bleed, and it's a weird new ability that's sort of like shock or cyclone, but also not like shock or cyclone. It does additional damage, but that additional damage is a set number, and it doesn't appear to like have like a special multiplier or anything based on how many bubbles you pop or anything like that. It's just you have to pop, in the case of Hinukaman, 1 red bubble after you have inflicted bleed on the enemy to get bonus damage when you attack them. Because you will attack them, and then later, after the end of the turn, they will take the bleed damage, and then they will take the additional damage if you hit the red bubble. It's a bit of a weird ability, but I have a feeling the output of damage is going to be quite high. It's definitely going to be good for the Hinukaman Super Phoenix stage, which is what we care about most, because that's going to be a fun stage to try and tackle on stream and probably lose. But there you go. And we have a new Heroes Gacha, a new Psyche, and a new Naruto. Now, if anybody wanted to chat shit on them adding a new Naruto, this is the one thing in the event, other than this and Mirative, are the 2 things in this event that I am going to make absolutely no effort to defend, because I think they are stupid. Mirative is just a clunky mess, but Naruto... Why KCM1 Naruto? Why surely nobody wants this. Like, maybe somebody wants KCM1 Naruto, but why is he standard gacha? After we just got KCM2 Naruto as a limited not that long ago. It's one of the most uninspired picks for a standard gacha we've seen, especially when we know they are sitting on a KCM Minato that is not in the game. I get that he's not a protagonist, and obviously this is a protagonist. Like, there's so many protagonists in this event. They wanted to put a protagonist there. And how can you put a Naruto character that's a protagonist and not have it be Naruto? I get it. Just don't put a Naruto character. Put somebody else. Like, you put a new version of Psyche, which is cool. That's our 3rd version of Psyche. If you're gonna do more content for Psyche, I'd like some more of the more like fringe characters. Like, you've added a few, and that's great, but there are some really cool characters there that you haven't touched yet. I'd really like to see maybe a Psyche feature festival at some point, just saying, if you wanted to. Psyche's cool though. It's cool to see him added. Naruto, get Ben. Moving on, we have one of the biggest glow ups in Jumputi history. And that is the brand new Cobra, the strongest space pirate Cobra from, well, Cobra. On a very nice gacha. On a very, very nice gacha with Dark Schneider and Tyson Maeda. Guaranteed on the 5th multi, you will get yourself Cobra, which, as we saw in the boosted points before, he's the one you want. He is the biggest boost for points. This sprite is unlike anything else in Jumputi as far as I can see. If you look at the original sprite and you look at this one, they are different characters, or at least that is what you would believe if you were showed them both. But no, this is Cobra, and oh my god, it looks so good. And you know what? I'm very happy. I am very happy for so many reasons. For number one, this gives us so much hope for the other series that have remained virtually untouched since launch, because a lot of these series we felt like they just weren't going to go back and touch. And as big and important as Cobra is to Shonen Jump and to its history, we felt like the devs had just kind of forgotten about it. And it was understandable, because there is recency bias towards newer series, and you just feel like, why would they add a new Cobra character if they're going to add a new Naruto or a new... like new Dragon Ball characters. Why would they go back and touch on Cobra? I know Dragon Ball's 80s, but like it's, you know, there's newer Dragon Ball iterations that are still very popular. But they have gone back and they have done an excellent job. There is a lot of love and care put into this sprite, and you know what? It just gives me so much hope for so many of those series that I personally quite enjoy that they have shunned since the launch of the game. Some of them, not even from the launch of the game, they came in like 2018 and you were like, oh, this is exciting, this is new content, I love this. And then not touched again for however long. And then there's even some series that have got little sprinkles here and there and then forgotten about. You know, remember Medica Box when it got the first prototype feature festival and it never got any more content ever again? Maybe we can actually go back and we can actually get more content. Imagine Medica with a reworked sprite. If you look at how good Cobra looks, imagine how good they can make some of these characters look. This is promising. This is promising. Very nice from the devs, and they quite often do this. They have the points boost gacha or whatever be a character that's maybe a bit less mainstream, and then the standard gacha is like the more currently relevant characters, and that's fine because you can make that choice. And personally, I prefer this style of gacha to this style most of the time, because if you don't care which of the new characters you get, you just want to get one, then this one is better because you go free multis, you get one. But if you're going for one specifically, there is no step that guarantees you will get the one you want. You are just guaranteed to get one of the two. Whereas on this one, 5th step, bang, you get Cobra. So it's a little nicer. And I think they did a good job with the featured units as well, because on the 3rd multi you're guaranteed to get one of those 3 and they are all pretty tasty. So shout out devs, absolute banger. And then we have a celebration of the latest volume release of the Elusive Samurai, which you can read on the Shonen Jump app, on the Viz Media website, and on Manga Plus, although I think some of the chapters in the middle are missing on Manga Plus. If you haven't read it all, probably just go to the Shonen Jump app. If you've got the $1.99 subscription, you can read it all. And this gacha is kind of bad. it's kind of bad. It's to celebrate the fact that obviously Matsui did indeed write the Elusive Samurai, but also wrote Nogami Neuro, also wrote Assassination Classroom, and 2 series that have not got that much content in the game. Have got some content since they were added though, at least some. I would have preferred if they had included the seasonal Nagisa in here, which they didn't, and that unit doesn't come back that often. But sure, 3 2018 units and one unit from this year. It's a bit of a weird lineup. But hey, not bad. And you know what? This is the second little like celebration thing they've done, because they did the same thing for Sket Dance when the first volume of Witch Watch came out, or when it was like gaining popularity or whatever. So more of this, please, devs. More of this. Little things, little celebrations of what's going on now in Jump, and reminding us of what that means for the past of Jump. I like that. I like that a lot. I will not be summoning on this gacha. It will not see Ruby 1 from me, but I still appreciate it. It is a bonus month for Jewel Fragment Exchange. You can actually get 6 of each jewel from the Jewel Fragment Exchange. Obviously, a lot of people don't have enough fragments to do that, but we are going to be getting a lot of those monthly Jump tickets during this event. And when you use those, you get the Pooty Seals, and you can trade those for Jewel Fragments. So you might be able to, I don't know if you'll be able to get all, however many, like 18 or whatever. But you should be able to get a few. So it's a good opportunity. And then we have the Super Dimensional Battle event, the Yonko, a full power One Piece event, which, as far as I can see, is just the Yonko are appearing as bosses. I think we are getting some rewards, some bonus rewards, perhaps. So that's cool. But it's pretty much going to be the same for most people. Just go into Super Dimensional Battle and challenge it for that day. The one thing I guess we do know ahead of time is who the bosses are going to be. So you might have a little bit of advanced information, might choose to limit break certain characters based off that information. But they also announced that certain One Piece characters that are coming in the One Piece event, which is after this one, will be boosted in Super Dimensional Battle. So that might ruin your plans. I don't know. I don't really intend to summon during that event, so whatever. More information from the stream. This was a banger. When they dropped this, I freaked out. Now they are adding 5 new series. One of these is already in the game. Actually, 4 new series. One of these is Naruto, but they're adding 6 new series to the game. Moeru Onii-san obviously already here. Kimagure Orange Road, which is one of the most asked for series from that sort of like older era. Obviously newer series, you know, stuff like Chainsaw Man, stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen gets asked for all the time. But in terms of stuff from back then, it is one of the most asked for things, along with Slam Dunk, which is still nowhere to be seen, which at this point I guess we have to assume, again, is either a rights dispute or they're saving it for the Olympics. If it doesn't show up during the Olympics, I'm sorry lads, I tried. But you know what? We're still getting a bunch of new series, which is good. We're also getting Hochonin Ajihei, which is a manga about cooking from a long time ago, like 70s manga, I believe. So that's seemingly out of nowhere. And then we're also getting Inumaru Dashi, which is a series we have discussed before, about a child that refuses to wear trousers and is a troublesome character for everybody around them. Not exactly something I was looking forward to being added, but it's there, guys. And Hoken Shitsu no Shinigami, which is actually made by the author of Kimono Jihen, which has been getting quite a lot of popularity, so that's pretty awesome. And Naruto! More Naruto! Are you kidding me? Listen, yeah? How much more outrageous does this look, knowing that they have even more Naruto planned, and it's not even Naruto. They are even justifying it as a different series. That's a bit tricky. The only way I could justify this in my head is that this is the version of, it says Naruto. They can go fuck themselves. This is Boruto, okay? Let's be very clear. Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage, and the Scarlet Spring is Boruto. The only reason it's not called Boruto is because it doesn't really focus on Boruto so much as it focuses on Sarada and the Uchiha family. And it's about Sarada and finding her real mom, which is not really a thing, but it's cool for one reason and one reason only, and that is because this is the version of Boruto that was drawn by Kishimoto. Before Boruto got a serialization, and it was handled by Kishimoto's assistant, long-running assistant on the Naruto series, and Kishimoto took a step back and became like a supervisor. This was actually drawn by Kishimoto. So the art is very different, and some people much prefer this style. There are some defendants out there for the Boruto style, the Ikemoto style. I get it. But it's more Naruto, guys. I don't know much. What can I say? What can I say about this? They're adding more Naruto. Were you annoyed that Naruto is in this event? Well, fucking get used to it. But it was a small blight on an otherwise euphoric announcement. And they actually gave us a little preview of Madoka from Kimagure Orange Road. I know so many people They're excited to see these new characters. I always love when they give us teasers like this in streams, so I hope they continue to do that. And it's just nice. It's just nice, really. So more content, and more opportunities to learn more about these series, which I really, really like. And next up, more information on the improvements to Super Dimensional Battle, which I don't think I really care about that much, but they are working on the rewards and difficulty of the event. You can expect improvements late August, early September time. And they are going to be giving us a beta version of rankings for Super Dimensional Battle at the end of September, alongside the 3.5 anniversary event, which again, I don't think I really care about. But for the people that do care, there you go. There it is. And this is huge. This is huge. They are going to be putting a QR code in this week's jump, the upcoming jump, which will be Sunday night digitally or Monday morning, not digitally, I guess. And well, technically it's Monday night, Monday morning, Japan time. God, I'm getting confused. For me in the UK, it's like 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday, so that's cool. And we are going to be getting a limited choice ticket. The limited will come at 6-star. A 6-star choice ticket and a 6-star event choice ticket. For those wondering what an event choice ticket is, they didn't actually say it, but one would assume it is a ticket that lets you choose a 6-star event character, which may not be particularly useful. Kind of depends who's on there, because there might be some characters that haven't shown up in a while. But this is a very nice little pack. This is very cheeky. It's very naughty, because new players who are reading the magazine, people that maybe have had no experience with Jumputi, maybe they've seen the ad once in a while, whatever, they'll open up Weekly Shonen Jump. Oh, what's this cool advert? All these new characters. This looks awesome. And you get free characters for free just by scanning this QR code and jumping into the game. And one of them is going to be a super powerful limited character of your choice, and you're also going to be able to choose from a whole list, a whole bunch of new characters from the other two tickets. So for someone who's new to the game, that's pretty huge. And for somebody who's not new to the game, it's still huge. It's still huge. There's a bunch of freebies. We love freebies here. Okay, so I'm excited for that. That'll be Sunday night for me. I'm very happy. I'll probably retweet that QR code as soon as I've got it, which is not really in the spirit of how they do things, but technically, if you live in the West, you're not really supposed to, or you don't really have easy access to Weekly Shonen Jump. I do pay the digital subscription to get the copies of Shonen Jump as they come out. In Japan, in the Japanese format, and that's only because they sometimes sneak adverts in there that we don't get in the Western version, that could tell us more about Jumputi or some other upcoming projects or whatever. So I like to check that out, and I will do so. I will do so on Sunday night. So we'll share that QR code for sure. Emblems, an upcoming feature that will allow us to put an image next to our name that will do nothing, I don't think. It'll probably show up in certain places, like maybe when you join co-op rooms, and maybe when you are talking in your guild room or whatever. Like it will show up in places, but it's seemingly purely just an aesthetic thing, kind of like the titles in OPTC or something like that. But depending on what they add here, could be a nice little thing, could be cool, I don't know. Maybe they'll do some missions for collecting certain emblems, that would be cool too. And they've also added the swap function. You can swap your characters around in your team now without going into the box, which is actually very, very nice. A lot of the team building features they add I don't typically use, because it's all like really granular sort functionality. But this one I'll use. This one I will definitely use. And now, oh lads, this is, oh my god, let me readjust my seating, because this is the part that probably took me the longest during these translations. The interview with Game Biz. Now I think I can just kind of skim over this if you really want to go into detail. then by all means, go to the link in the description and read it for yourself. But basically, this was an interview with 3 of the people overseeing Jumputi Heroes. We have Sho Fujikawa, who is essentially the main producer of the game, took over from Shirai P back in the end of last year. And he is he has been making some interesting changes to the game, some of which good, some of which questionable, maybe, I don't know. But so far so good. The Fujikawa era, so far so good. We also have some of the other supervisors from the Weekly Shonen Jump editor-in-chief of media, Kohei Onishi, and the Shueisha V-Jump Psycho Jump editorial department, Taiki Uchida. These people don't necessarily work like as part of the development team, but they are sort of an interstitial between people like Fujikawa, who are actually working on the game, and the other people within Shueisha who will have access to, you know, rights documents and you know, all this stuff. So they can you know, talk to creators of series, and they can talk to the people who are in charge of the rights of certain series, and it's like from what I understand, quite a difficult process. But that's what these people are. That's who they are, and that's what they're here for, and they're being interviewed by Game Biz. The first thing I guess we want to talk about is... oh, I don't know. What do we want to talk about first? I don't know. I don't know. There's so much to pick here. Okay, here we go. First thing. Fans were very vocal about 2 series in particular, Siren and Buso Renkin. Since these series have been added, people have been requesting that the protagonists from each of these series be added. And regarding that point, first of all, Kazuki Muto appears during this event, of course, and there are plans for a Buso Renkin and Siren feature festival. Now, there are some questions about the wording here, the way I've worded it. Well, really, the way they worded it in the interview. But seemingly, they are trying to say that Buso Renkin would get a feature festival and Siren would also get a feature festival. Because as far as we know, when they talk about World Trigger and My Hero Academia, who are having a sort of special crossover event, they referred to it as such. It's like a special new kind of event. They didn't say feature festival. They've said feature festival here, so we can assume they are each getting a feature festival. But even if it's a combined event, we would assume it'd be about the same size as both of them getting a feature festival, so it shouldn't be an issue. So we know that Ageha Yoshina will be coming at some point in the future, which is cool, but I guess we kind of expected it, but still, it's cool. It's definitely cool to have the confirmation. And, oh god, there's so much text here, guys. There's so much text here. What did I want to touch on? I don't remember. They were talking about how they want to introduce people to series they maybe haven't seen before, had much experience before, and they do that by having a popular series get a feature festival, and then following it up with a series that maybe some people have had a bit less exposure to. So I guess when the next time you see a big feature festival, expect the thing after to be a little bit of a tease. I don't know, like a little bit of a lesser series, not lesser series, that's not right, but like a less popular series, maybe a more niche series. I guess we can expect that, but the next big one is One Piece, and that's followed by an ensemble, so I guess that doesn't always follow up. I don't know, there was so much here. There was so much here. I don't think I'm going to be able to touch on everything I wanted to touch on here. Like, if you want to read it, I do recommend it. It is a good read. They basically talk about how they have some difficulties with certain things, like, for example, if somebody is reading Weekly Shonen Jump week in, week out, they're going to want to see the characters that are in Weekly Shonen Jump week in, week out. Characters like Yuji Itadori, who are getting up to antics in Jujutsu Kaisen, or, you know, whatever is currently going on in the current My Hero Academia arc. They'll want to see more content from My Hero Academia that features that arc. And one of the problems they have is trying to figure out how do you balance creating content that is exciting for players like that, and still try to make content that isn't too spoilery for people who are only watching the anime. And maybe there isn't an anime adaptation, or maybe there is an anime adaptation but it's not up to that arc yet. This hasn't stopped them in the past, of course, but I think we have switched over producers recently, so maybe there'll be some effect on content moving forward. I don't know. But the most recent Kimetsu no Yaiba event was a major spoiler fest for the final arc. I just think Kimetsu no Yaiba was just too popular. It's just too popular. But I'm sure at some point they're gonna. I'm sure at some point we will see Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen and all that. But this might be why those series haven't made their way in yet, because there is fear of spoilers, and there is fear of, especially with Chainsaw Man, because we know the anime's, even though the manga's finished, like part 1 of the manga is finished, long finished, the anime has only just really got its like proper introduction to the world with the special trailer. Like, people are very excited for that, and they don't want to diminish that excitement by posting a bunch of spoilers in a mobile game. So it makes sense. It does make sense. I get what they're going for there. And one of the things they touched on was certain series having arcs that were not adapted into an anime, and Jumputi seeing that as an opportunity to adapt those arcs so that people can see them in a different style to just the standard manga style, and they can see those characters covered that were maybe forgotten about. I'm talking specifically about Yugo in The Promised Neverland. People went crazy on Twitter when they saw Yugo because he wasn't in the anime season 2, and I think that is an opportunity for them to go back and look over things that maybe the anime missed out in some big series, and just chuck it in a special event. I'm struggling to think of any right now, but these videos are now down, so so I hope you will forgive me. But yeah, a lot talked about here, a lot of good stuff, and they talked about like their selection process for new series and all kinds of stuff. I really highly recommend you read it. And there's one last thing I want to touch on, and that is, of course, the player inquiries. There are a ton here. They talked about it on stream, but about it here as well. The addition of new series, we've already talked about this, but they posted it here again. They are going to be adding more new series, and probably, you know, they showed us those 6 and they said and more. I think going forward we are going to see additions of new series a little bit more regularly than we had done in the last year or so. I think early on they were just like series after series after series, and then they hit a certain point where they were like, okay, we're gonna step back and we're only gonna add like certain things, big series like Boruto or something, and we're not going to focus too much on like trying to cover everything, but they did say in that interview that they want to try and introduce people to series from the Jump catalog they maybe don't know about, older series, whatever. So I think we'll see more. I do think we'll see more, and I'm very glad that is the case. People want more friend point gacha characters. Oh my god, we've been asking for this for so long. But they are considering it. They're just trying to work out how they're going to do it. So very good from the devs. This is just talking about the Dual Fragment boost month. It's only boosted for July, but I dare say during big events they will boost it again. So maybe during the 3.5 Annie would be the next time they do it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. People are asking for more functionality on how to narrow down what characters do what, and which characters are maxed out. This is a huge one. Knowing which characters have max skill and which one don't, so you know who to put in your team for leveling up your skills. That's quite huge, because it is a pain in the ass going through them all. So rate that. I do rate that. And again, this is all stuff they're considering. They're working on updates as we speak, so we shall see in the future. People want to be able to get chat stamps from past events. I personally don't care about this, but if you're the kind of person that does use the chat stamps, then, well, they're going to be added to the trade medal exchange from mid-August, so that's cool. More max luck benefits. Yes, please and thank you. We are going to be getting some more max luck benefits, which it's been so long since they added the last ones. I feel like people have got so many max luck characters now. I do wonder what the rewards are going to look like and what the missions are going to look like, but I'm all for it. I am all for it. People want to be able to summon on ticket gachas multiple times at once. I'm looking at you, 10-step ticket. You absolute mess of a gacha. Please update this before the pool update next year. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Because that is annoying. But they are working on it, so we will have to wait and see. People want an update for the 2x daily free gacha. Now, at this point, I basically just, like, maybe I summon on it if I notice I haven't done it, but I don't really care about this that much. So I'm surprised that people are actually asking for this, and it turns out they are planning some things for this. They are going to give us, like, a guaranteed 5-star after a certain amount of summons in a row or whatever, which is cool. The update coming from around the end of July. I didn't really expect that, but okay. People want updated summon animations. Yes, please. We need fake outs. We need longer animations. We need more cut-ins. We need it to really cool and super special awesome. It's gone a little bit stale. It's, you know, every game revamps it at some point. Every game. Every game. And if you look at what Dokkan did with their revamps, oh my god. For me, it was a bit less effective with One Piece. Because, like, you pull back and it's just, like, basically the old Dokkan one where it's like, oh, instead of, like, Super Saiyan 1, it's like, oh, Gear 2! Like, you know. It wasn't quite as effective, but when they first added, like, fake outs and stuff into OPTC, oh my god. It was so exciting. Like, imagine you open up the game and you do your summon and you get this, like, dead gold multi. You're like, oh no, and then suddenly, whoa, fake out, and you get a limited. Oh my god. People will be so happy with that. People want stamp sorting. People must really use the stamps in Japan because I don't really care about that at all. And people want more convenient sort functionality, which makes sense. And it's fair enough. I would say it is fair enough. You know, you want to be able to sort your characters. We all want to do that, so that's fine. This one, I mean, the wording on this seems so odd. And it seems so odd last time they posted this. They want relief measures for hero and limited characters' abilities diminishing over time. And I'm still not 100% sure on that diminishing over time part, because the wording seemed really odd when I tried to, no matter how I tried to translate it. But I think basically what they're trying to say here is, like, say for example you summon for, whoa, a good example actually, Mazoku Yusuke, who I mentioned before. At the time, he's amazing, but over time, not so much. And when you pull dupes of him now, you want to pull your hair out. Because it's not something, like, way back then, you jeweled them because that was a good thing back then. You know, you got a good unit and you got good use out of them. But now, you don't even use them anymore, and then you got a dupe of them instead of something good and useful that could have been a good limited. And, like, all feeding it does is increase the luck, and that's it. Which does nothing. Unless you're going to pull enough copies to max out their luck, it does nothing. So, I get what they're trying to say. And I think, you know, they're trying to consider the options of, like, what they can do with that. And whatever they can do, whatever they can introduce, I am all for it. But, again, I don't understand that one too much, because this game does buff old limited units every once in a while, making some of them actually quite useful. And if you look at some of the other games, like, they just let some of those units die, or they'll add some stupid, like, awakening mechanic that makes them, like, it's like, oh, they're good, but you have to be, like, insane at the game to even get them to this point that they're good, and they're still worse than, like, new units coming out now. So I don't know, whatever. It's cool if we get old units becoming good. It's cool. It's fine by me. Updating the rewards for Unity Battle. Apparently that's going to be from this Unity Battle, from the Mecha Freezer one. So I'm excited to see what that is. The banner didn't have that many goodies on it. It just had Freezer and a multi-ticket on it. So I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but hopefully lots of good rewards. People want to be able to choose which summon books they can buy in the Versus Battle Medal Exchange. Honestly, I don't know why it's random, but it is. Hopefully they will change that very soon. This one, people want to be able to invest 1 million coins in a single click. I don't know why they haven't done this yet, but they said they're working on it, so that's good. People want a data transfer method other than line. This one, it says they're currently in the process of deciding how it will be handled. This one should have been done since the launch of the game. Line is awful for transferring data because you just get stupid things like you'll be playing a game. It's like your data's corrupt and you've got to risk recovering your data. It shouldn't be a risk, but it's like you got to risk. Oh, you accidentally bound this new account to your Line account. Oh, all your data's gone. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? So I don't like that. And I like the games that give you a lot of options. I think Bleach had like tons of options. You can go on like klab.com, Facebook, like loads of stuff. So I like the games that give you lots of options. Hopefully they're going to do a good job with this, because I'm tired of watching people lose their accounts and not really being able to say much to make them feel any better. Because all you can do is contact support, and a lot of the time they aren't that helpful. You can get your account back through support, but there have been a lot of instances where people have tried getting in contact with support and haven't really got anywhere. So hopefully they fix that soon. People want better team building UI, but obviously they've just implemented the slot switching thing, and I think the slot switching thing is pretty good. Sort functionality for Legend Summons, I guess there really aren't enough to warrant this, but sure, okay. If it's going to let us choose like which characters do what, then I guess that's good. And adjustments to the difficulty and rewards of Super Dimensional Battle, which we mentioned in the actual main news post. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can share your thoughts on Twitter using that hashtag, and if you actually go to the news post and click that hashtag, it takes you straight to Twitter. Can you imagine that? And they also said they're going to be talking about this in live streams. Like before, they always said like we're going to post the news on like this set date, or like roughly after this date, towards the end of the month. But they haven't done that this time. They said they're going to discuss it on live stream. So I don't know if they were talking about this live stream where they discussed some of these issues, or whether they're talking about we're going to be getting a live stream after the One Piece event for whatever the summer event is, or whatever that event is supposed to be, or whether they're going to do regular live streams, or I don't know. But again, possibly something to look forward to. And yeah, that's it. That's the video. Like way too long. I'm sorry, but I hope you all enjoyed. I'm very excited. I'm sure you can tell. I'm very excited. And as you can see there in the middle of the screen, if you found this content useful or interesting, consider supporting on Ko-fi. Again, link in the description, link on the website, and all that good stuff. It does help me out. We are trying to hit our target for the year to pay off the server fees, so that I don't have to pay it all out of my own pocket. So if you do want to help with that, you can. And if you support us, you can actually get a Discord role in the Jumputi Hero server. So just a suggestion. And yeah, that's the end of this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. I do hope you're going to enjoy this event, because I know I am. And I'll see you all in the batch review, or the live stream as well. I don't know which one's going to come first, but I will see you all then. Goodbye.